Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Okay, get your glasses of water, get your notepads, get yourself in gear. It is time for the Victory Speaks conversation, an inspired conversation. I'm making sure that all my devices are loaded. My YouTube is going, my Facebook is going. Drop your comments, drop your questions when we go live. And it is going to be fun. It's going to be fun tonight. Of course, I got to start with a little bit of calabash, a little bit of Caribbean jazz. Even though I don't own the rights to the music, I do have permission to play it. I know I can get music with all the rights and everything, but I just love calabash. And they got such Trinidadian roots with the lead being, Anthony Pierre. I just love it. Maybe one day I'll change. I don't know. We'll see. So before we start, you know what we got to do? We got to show each other some love. We got to share the feed because sharing is caring. And for those of you who don't know me, welcome to the Victory Speaks Inspired Conversation series where iron sharpens iron. That's you and me sharpening each other. I'm your host, Nicole Waldron, your voice of victory and your mental fitness coach. And I'm on a mission to inspire you to live a life of victory, a victorious lifestyle. You see, we all need to cultivate the victory mindset as we mind our minds. And guess what? This week is the start of Brain Awareness Week. So it's a perfect time to really look at minding your mind and figure out, how am I going to take care of my mindset better, my mental wellness? And one of my go-tos is Dr. Carolyn Leaf's book. And her teaching. She's such an awesome teacher, and I learned so much about her and the brain and the mind and mental health and wellness. And she's a spectacular woman as well. So you got to check her out. So if you want to look at minding your mind and learning about the brain and how the mindset works, that's a great tool for you. Now, moving forward, we have many conversations in your life, and I have many conversations. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are funny. You name it, we have it. But no matter what the conversation is, it can always be inspiring. And I find it is time that we start sharing the knowledge and the wisdom and the humor that we share in our conversations. There's always something to get. You see, we all have a story to tell. And there's always someone that can glean from your story. Sharing is caring. And my guests today are part of a revolution, a wellness revolution. So sit back and let me introduce you to this panel. It's going to be a great panel today. It's not just one guest. I've got some ladies coming to the show. First up is Angela Todd Anderson, and she's a member and the current president of the Congress of Black Women of Canada, Oshawa Whitby chapter. Outside of the Congress, Angela works at a private law firm as a law clerk and student administrator. She serves on the Diversity and Inclusion Committee and takes lead on initiatives to promote inclusiveness. And Angela also received the Diversity and Inclusion Award in 2018 for her initiatives. Nikisha Evans is a licensed paralegal of the Law Society of Ontario. Her passion for justice, love for advocacy, and compassion for others guides her in the role as president of the Congress of Black Women London chapter. In addition, Nikisha is an author and mentor. She obtained a Bachelor of Science in Professional Management with graduate diplomas in Human Resource Management and Paralegal Studies. Nikisha enjoys motivating others to be their best self. Next up, we're going to have Jean Lennox. She is a CPA and works as a senior project accountant in a large Canadian-based international company. She has a passion for community work and healthy living. Her community volunteering dates back to Ujamaa, African Peoples Organization, and the Community Kwanzaa celebration of the 1990s. She enjoys collaborating with others for the benefit of the community. She has been a member of the Mississauga chapter of the Congress of Black Women of Canada for more than a decade, where she has served in various roles, including 2 previous terms as chapter president. She is a student of yoga and mindfulness meditation and believes in lifelong learning. And Jean currently combines her passion for community and wellness as one of the co-leads in the Congress of Black Women of Canada, Ontario Region's Black Women's Wellness Project. And last but not least, it's Loris Thomas. She is a passionate community organizer and volunteer. She has been a member of the Congress of the Black Women of Canada for over 15 years, and she is currently Ontario's regional representative for the Congress of Black Women's Ontario region. She coordinates the overall activities for the regional body through collaboration with partners, agencies, and government bodies. In 2019, along with fellow team members, she launched a leadership summit in Peel region in recognition and celebration of the International Decade for People of African Descent. In her past professional life, Loris held several administrative and management positions with corporate organizations such as Bell Canada and Nabisco Limited. Always one to get others involved in projects, she was the recipient of the President's Award of Excellence at Nabisco Limited, and during her time at Bell Canada, she was the recipient of the Bell Ovation Award for creative and innovative work by an 8-member team. People, whether you're live or on the replay, show them some love. Welcome up my guest tonight from the Congress of Black Women of Canada, Ontario region, Loris, Angela, and Jean, and Nikisha. Woo! I'm just saying. Welcome. Welcome, ladies. I know we may have a little bit of feedback tonight. Bear with us tonight. So I'm just going to put everybody off of on mute for a hot second, but so that you can hear everybody and welcome everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. This is going to be an inspired conversation. And I'm just grateful for everyone who is tuning in. Diana, you're already asking me some great questions. Is this tape? I'm on another Zoom. You're one of my sheroes. Thank you, Diana. Yes, it's being taped, and you can watch it later on the Facebook page. And you can also watch it on the YouTube channel. So thanks, Diana. And when you finish your Zoom, you got to jump back into the conversation because you're a valuable audience. And good evening, Sarah Oyango from Ottawa. Yes, this is a woman that is a champion of the community here and everywhere. So ladies, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing good.
Awesome. Awesome. I see beautiful faces, beautiful smiles. Okay, so we're going to take it. I'm going to go in some orders here so that it's going to be easy for everyone. So Loris, tell me something. This month, it's International Women's Month, and the theme is Choose to Challenge. What are you choosing to challenge this month?
Wow. Thanks, thanks for having us, Nicole. This is really fabulous, all of us here tonight. My challenge this month, outside of some of the outside activities, I'm challenging myself. I'm challenging myself to go for whatever comes my way, not just this month, but this year, taking on the opportunities with when something presents itself to just go for it, which is exactly one of the things I'm doing right now. This is my first podcast. I hesitated a little bit, but I said, no, go for it. So I'm challenging myself to be here tonight to have this conversation with you.
Awesome. This is awesome. Thank you so much. And what would you say you would want to choose to challenge other women to do?
As we take a look at what's going on in the community, I'm challenging other women to take responsibility for their well-being.
Oh, love it.
And reach out to others for help if you have some challenges with that, but really seize the moment to take responsibility for your well-being.
Yes, that is so powerful and so needed right now. When we think of Black women, we just finished, Black Mental Health Week. We just finished so much there. So Angela, I'm going to throw to you. What are you going to choose to challenge in, let me try and unmute you here. If it allows me to unmute you. Okay, so Angela, you can have to unmute yourself. Yes, there you go. So what are you going to choose to what are you choosing to challenge yourself this month?
Well, I'm choosing to challenge first of all, thank you for having us on tonight. And first of all, I'm choosing to challenge my own self personally to overcome fear. This was a big thing for me to be here tonight. So one of my challenges is to overcome fear and just to step out of my box. And I'm challenging others to join in and just to celebrate other women's achievement. to look around, we have achieved a lot, and just to challenge their achievements.
I love that. And I love that because fear can be so paralyzing. So you have conquered this. So now you're moving in a whole new level of faith. I love it. So I'm bringing up now Miss Ann Jean. What are you choosing to challenge this month?
So I think we have a theme here. This is my very first podcast. So yeah, getting out of that comfort zone, saying yes to opportunities that present themselves. I know when we reached out to you about our program and you said, oh, wow, I'd love to talk about this, on my show. And Loris and I probably hesitated for a second, not having done podcasts before, but we said, wow, this is a wonderful opportunity to promote the Congress and to promote the wellness revolution. So we said yes. So this is what I choose to challenge myself to do this year. Say yes to opportunities.
Yes to opportunities. I love that. And what would you challenge other women with?
I would say just be aware that growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone.
You see, we're already dropping the wisdom bombs here. We're already dropping it. Say that again, Angie.
Growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone.
Growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone. I love it. So you've grown tonight by leaps and bounds. All of you grown tonight by leaps and bounds. So, Nikisha, I love your name. Oh my God, I could rename myself Nikisha right now. So, Nikisha, what are you choosing to challenge?
Thank you for having me here. And I like Anne and everyone else said, this is my first podcast. So thank you. I normally work behind the scenes because I like doing that, staying back. But this is really a leap of faith to do this. And thank you for the opportunity. What I have decided to challenge myself with is time. Challenge myself with time, being intentional about every second of the day. And that's one of the things I got out of COVID. It's really being intentional about your time because time is so precious and just trying to maximize it. So I'm literally looking at the clock of the day and saying, who gets this hour? Who gets that hour? What gets this attention? Because at the end of the day, when you lay down, I want to know that I was productive and that I accomplished something and not just existed throughout the day. So with that, I would challenge other women to be intentional about your time. And when you become intentional, then your life becomes, you put things in perspective, and then there's going to call for changes. But at the end of the day, you're going to be happy with the result that you get. So that's what I'll do to women.
See, it is coming already. It is coming in drops. Who knows what else is going to come out tonight? So I'm just saying, people, get ready. The women are live. This may be your first podcast, but you're ready rocking it. You're ready rocking it. Okay. One more thing for you. I'm going to come to you, Nikisha. What brings you joy? What fills you up and what brings you joy?
What brings me joy? Oh gosh, that kind of question was so loaded. And I'm like, how can I put this in 2 sentences or 1 sentence? What brings me joy? I love helping people to come into their own. That brings me great fulfillment. I believe you should be your best self. And sometimes you will need help in becoming that best who they are. So I find joy in that. And the success of my family and friends is what brings me joy, what makes me excited. Just to see, like Angela said, to celebrate the success of other people.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for me. And if I can help on this journey to help somebody come into their own, to find out, to discover what is their purpose here. That would have made my day. It would have made me excited. I'm done. Take me now. So that's important for me.
And then, that is so true because this is so part of the wellness revolution. When you find purpose, you find so much in oneself. Angela, what brings you joy and what fills you up? Let's unmute you. You got to unmute yourself for me. Wonderful.
Sorry. Yes. What fills me up? Oh my gosh, that's such a loaded question, but I love to help others. I love to see others smile. And
Mm.
I love to help others on their journey, especially when what I've learned to realize is that, sometimes I go through some things and I wonder what's the purpose. But when I'm able to help someone with what I had challenges with, it brings me such joy. So just being a helping hand to someone and just being there for them. And I love to see the success of my friends. I love it. I love to celebrate their success. I have a group of friends, and no matter how small it is, we just celebrate each other, celebrate. I have a saying, and I know there's the question, but I have a saying where my grandmother, and I take that with me. She always tell me in life, you have three sets of friends. There is one that's below you. There's one that's on your level, and there is one above you. So I'm
Ooh.
always trying to reach that person that's up there. And while I'm in the position that I'm in, I'm trying to help the person behind me. So then we're always building up the sisterhood. We're always building up each other. And so I like to see myself in that pattern. And it brings me joy when I can see that's completed. So just to see the success of others and helping others bring me great joy.
That's that circle. You feel like you're in that circle. And I love to call those people our iron sharpeners, the people that we help and that help us.
Mhm.
I love that. So Angine, I'm gonna throw to you next. What fills you up and what brings you joy?
For me, it's supporting others, family, friends, where can I lend a hand? Where can I be of support? I also really love collaborating in community. When like-minded people get together and say, we're going to do this and collaborate and create something for the good, for the improvement, either self-improvement, community improvement, working with others. I really do enjoy that.
You know what? And I can so tell you guys are just filibusters. And Miss Loris Thomas, what fills you up and what brings you joy? And let me unmute you here. There we go.
And thanks, Nicole. And I agree, was a very loaded question, and there's so many things that brings me joy. But one of the things that popped out as I really thought about, I love being around those iron sharpeners. Those
Mm,
happy, contented people
yes.
fills me up. Having great conversations with them, and you can almost finish each other's sentence. You're sharing in that space. It's wonderful. It's fulfilling. It's happy. It's all that, and that absolutely, seeing others happy fills me up, and
And that is so
sharing
powerful.
in their happiness really fills me up.
I can see why you guys are together because you're ready. Like you are just like so similar. You're definitely iron sharpness. You're sharpening each other just by just listening to your questions. Like-minded people have come together. So the Congress of Black Women Ontario region. I don't know who wants to take this question, but tell us about the vision for the Congress. Who wants to go on this one?
I can take that, and then the other ladies can jump in.
Awesome.
So having been with the Congress for, it's probably now more than 20 years, and we have done a lot of programs, we have seen a lot of activity over the years. Right now, our vision is building a stronger organization, a visible organization, pardon me, addressing the needs of the Black women and our community. And then we have the overriding mission to empower Black women and their families. We're now approaching something we call a rebranding of the organization to create a unified organization here in Ontario. We have 9 chapters operating in Ontario, and we want to be organized. We want to be efficient. We want to be productive. We want to, when we look at the organization Oshawa Whitby, and then we look at the organization in London, we want people to know that this is the same organization. So we want a seamless operation right
Yes.
across Ontario. So when you look at us here tonight, we have Nikisha from London, we have Angela from Oshawa Whitby, and then we have Ms. Angela and myself. Now, if you'd had 8 of us, you could have seen us right across board. But we want a uniform organization operating right across Ontario. That's our vision right now. While we build the organization and while we remain visible, while we continue to do a lot of the work that we have been doing and introducing some new ones. And you'll probably hear this throughout the evening. For example, one of the program that we're really passionate about, and we talk about branding it. It's not just going to be this year. Is our wellness revolution, and it is challenging women to look at your wellness. Don't put yourself second, third, or fourth. Look at yourself now and start taking care of yourself so you can take care of the others around you. So that right now is the vision for the Congress. So
I love that. I love that. And anybody else, if they want to add to that piece before we go to the next piece, and it includes also the values of the Congress, because when I think of the vision, I think of the intention of it, and you covered that so well, because intention is so powerful. And Nikisha, you alluded to that earlier, that one has to have intention. And so when we look at the intention of it and the vision for it, what are the values that the organization is holding?
I could take that in the sense of what I've seen in my years of Congress. You notice that when you asked us, what fills us up, we're like-minded in that respect.
Yes. That was so good.
One, community building, I would say, is something that this organization shares. Community service, it is a volunteer organization. We're all volunteers, and anybody who's been in some of the roles that we've been in as president or other chairs of committees, it can be a lot of work. And it's really only through a love of community, commitment to what we're doing that keeps us, active in these roles and enjoying seeing the community come together. Each of our chapters has an annual scholarship event or annual might be a Caribbean event. We have the Mississauga chapter annual Caribbean breakfast where we have 100 people come together, celebrate Caribbean culture and food and entertainment. We have other activities, but just having that social activity where you bring the community together. So one of our values, definitely community building, community service, and just being there to support each other.
Angela, would you like to add to that?
Yes, I'll just about to comment on one of the values that we like to bring, especially I know because I'm involved in the East, in the East End, the Oshawa Whitby chapter. It's just that we value that the organization that we liaison with, that they take us very seriously. And when they ask us to do something, we want them to be able to rely on us and know that it is going to be done. So I like working with those organizations and just building that kind of confidence in the community that this is somewhere that you can turn to because we have the resources also, and take whatever we have to say seriously and use it. So just that value with the organization is great for us. We work a lot with organizations out here in the East, and so it's very important that when they hear the term Congress, they know that there's value there in having someone participating in their organization.
Because it's like when I hear the word Congress, I was like, is this a political organization? Like what is this? It just left me stunned, and I was like, you guys like one of the best kept secrets, and we need to take you out of the vault now.
I know because when I hear Congress, I just think of power, and so when we represent,
like the Senate politics, I'm like, yeah.
So that's what's important to me out here, and I guess as Engine says, also being able to building that community building, like people turn to you, like even I'll give an example. I was home late the other night and someone called in because they needed to find somewhere to send there's a youth and he didn't have anywhere to go for the night, and so it was very important, and it was that they found value in us and trust the information that we have, that they would call and say, is there somewhere that you could direct us to? So that's the kind of influence we want to have in the community, and that the community can depend upon us.
And Nikisha, do you want to add anything in this area as we're talking about the values and the mission and the vision and the objectives of the organization?
Yeah, I wanted to add the fact that our founder, Kay Livingston, was all about empowering the Black woman. And so we are guided by her vision, and we may execute it differently in our different chapters. But at the end of the day, whatever Kay founded when she did is what we carry through, which is empowering the Black woman and her family. And all of the chapters can say that we have a scholarship as a part of us, but Kay was also interested in the development and the empowerment in the community. So one thing about Black women is that we are strong within our family, but you can't miss us in the community. And so once we go into the community, for our chapter, like we donate to My Sister's Place, and we do other community activity and we come together. So it don't have to be a Black community. We help community, right? And that's what it's all about, because community is made up of all different race of people.
Right.
And so we take the lead, and the London chapter has been here for 32 years.
Wow.
And so it's well known in our area, and now we're looking at stretching it out. But going back into the wellness is before even we knew about the wellness revolution, one of our mandate was, while we are busy helping, which the Black women do, the community, and getting the scholarships to help other people, we need to help ourselves. So we have started to bring in, we've always had speakers coming in, but we're being intentional about our monthly speakers, bringing information and almost to refuel the membership on, okay, you're going out to the community, you're doing these projects to raise money, but we need to take care of ourselves. So we started that. So when we saw the wellness revolution, we were like, okay, good. We're going to be on top of this, and we're going to be a part of this, because a lot of times we do put ourselves on the back burner, and we feel guilty about doing things for us. And so it's nice to know that it's okay. And for us, one of the things we're concerned about as well is the mental health of the Black woman. You always hear Black women are strong, but with that strength comes a whole lot of stuff. And so that strength can cause us to not allow us to have be in a healthy place. So we look forward to the wellness revolution. We've shared it in our community. We've shared it in our Instagram. We've shared it among other organizations we partner with in terms of correspondence going out. So we look forward to the Congress. Like you said, when you have Congress, you have power, and that's
it is power. It is power. And it's so funny. So now we're all in sync, because as you were going there about the strong Black woman, what was in my head was, again, the curse and the blessing of the word strong Black woman. We're so proud of our strength, but in that same strength and that same resilience, it has hindered us in being fully who we are, in being vulnerable when we need to be vulnerable. And so I am loving the fact that you guys are in sync with me tonight. And I love this wellness revolution. So, but before I go deeper into the wellness revolution, because this is going to be deep, how can one become a member of the Congress? Because this sounds like an organization that other organizations can partner with. I'm thinking of an organization that I'm a part of, like Sisters for Hope. This would be probably a perfect organization, that can partner with it. So what are you looking for? How can organizations partner with you? And then how can we as individual women be a part of it? I don't know. I'm just throwing it all out there. I'm just so excited about the more I'm finding out about what you guys do. Loris, you can go. I can see you right there chomping at the bits, ready to go.
So we have 9 chapters across Ontario, and all you need to do is to be a Black woman, age 16 years to 100, and join one of those chapters. And we have a lot of committees for members to work on. Each chapter work to their strength, but we have education committee, we have social and rec committee, we have youth committee, we have membership committee, and then we have the bigger committee that works on some of the bigger, which is a combination of all the committee members. So definitely join a chapter across Ontario. We have a website. Do visit our website. We can flash that up later on.
I'm going to put it up there right now. You keep talking.
Send us an email to our cbwontarioinc@gmail.com, or send me an email. I get a lot of emails to my email address, and I get a lot on the email and on the Congress's email. So definitely do send that out to us. We are definitely looking for members. We've had people reach out to us, how can they become members? And I just direct them to a chapter. And even coming out of the survey, as we approach the Wellness Revolution, we had 2 new members joined up in the Mississauga chapter. I had a lady reach out to me from Hawkesbury, which is close to Ottawa. So I'm encouraging her to look into opening a chapter out there. I had someone who reached out to
Wow.
become a member. She's closer to Niagara Falls, so I mean it's something to look at. We can open a chapter in Niagara Falls. So definitely, it's encouraging for us who have been with the chapter for this length of time to see the attention and the reach out to us to become members. So definitely, we partner with other organizations in planning our events. I know in Oshawa Whitby, there's a lot of partnership with the Durham Library and even some of the colleges. In London, a similar activity. In Mississauga, we do the same thing. When we did that event to recognize the International Decade for People of African Descent, we invited 15 other Black organizations and peers to come out and collaborate with us to take a look at how we can be more effective as a community, not just as one Black group working in silo, but how all of us can come together and work. So we do reach out for partnership. That's actually at the core of how we operate, and it is at the core of how we're going to be successful, and how a lot of these organizations are going to remain in the community. When we look back 50 years ago, there were a lot of organizations. Some have fallen by the wayside. What enables one to stay current and to continue existing is reinventing yourself, partnering, reach out to the community, and get some activities done. So there are so many ways. So yes, we are looking forward to some new members joining us.
Well,
And this is why we are positioning ourselves that for all this activity, we are positioning ourselves that when you come on board, there are things for you to get involved in. There are ways for you to help us,
board.
and
No
vice
board
versa.
here. No board
Yeah.
here. And you know what I love? I just love the energy that I get from the four of you. You know, it's funny when women come together. Sometimes we're so competitive, and I love the fact that it's more complimentary of each other. It's more building each other up, and it's so much. This needs to happen as we
Yes.
feel as Black women in particular. And so I'm loving this, and I just want to say, welcome to everybody who's just joined the conversation. Oh my goodness, look who just joined our conversation. Love this. Congratulates to the ladies. Dee Chansonberry is a producer of Dark Girls and Dark Girls 2. If you've never seen the movie, you need to go on. It was featured on OWN. Oprah pushed it. So, Chansonberry, I'm so happy you're on here. We're going to hopefully hear from him one day soon on the Victory Speaks podcast. Joan Pierre is on here. Sarah Oyengo's on here. Joan Pierre is asking, do you have an outreach program to also get members? So Joan Pierre is probably chomping at the bits because for the Whitby, she's out on that side there, Angela. So I'm going to let Angela go there because this is the lady you want to tap into right now. There you go, Angela.
I keep forgetting that I have to keep unmuting myself.
That's okay.
Oh my gosh! So we have a members committee, and that's how we try to reach out and advertise. We try to advertise on Black Queens of Durham, and just through word of mouth. If we also have a website, which is right now we're trying to combine just having one website, but in the meantime we do have a Oshawa Whitby website where you come to directly and could email directly to us, and we are always we get back to you within a day as soon as I get it, because I'm so excited to have people on. So as soon as the emails comes in, we respond. So we have our members committee that are actively out there seeking. So we try to attend events and show up at these events and advertise ourselves out there.
I am loving this. And Sarah Oyango all the way in Ottawa says, I admire the longevity of this organization. Yes, because to be alive this young with this vibrancy and people wanting to be involved, I am right for it. So we're in a revolution without guns. We're in a revolution, of love and of wellness. So who wants, where did you even come up with the wellness revolution? And you know what's interesting? I'm going to give you a little something. The world is so in sync, and we're so in sync. I was talking to my life coach this morning, actually it was last night, and we were like, okay, we are not just motivational speakers. We're not just life coaches. And one of the words that came up that we are transferring over to is revolutionary speakers. So this the fact that we're doing a wellness revolution, and then it's the start of International Brain Awareness Week. I'm like, and the first thing is mental health and wellness. I'm like, we're so in sync here. So I'm excited. Who wants to take the wellness revolution? What is it about? Who's going? Who's going?
I
Who's
can
ready?
take.
Angie is ready.
So, we were inspired. We had this opportunity to provide a community program, and we looked around at what's happening now. This is a time of COVID. It's been really challenging year for everybody. 2020 was a year like no other, right? We looked around and we said, we really need to look at this issue of mental health. And when we looked into it, we realized that there's so many aspects to health and wellness, and they're all interrelated, right? Our mental health is affected by physical health, by family issues, by finances. It all comes together to impact our sense of wellness, our sense of well-being. So we started this program first by surveying the community. So I don't know, some of you might have heard about the Black Women Wellness Survey, might have participated in the wellness survey. We reached out to the community to get feedback, to find out what were on our sisters' minds, like what's going on, right? And based on the results of the survey, we realized, we needed to tap into several areas, not just look at mental health, but also look at physical health and the other areas that I mentioned. We were inspired too. Wellness Revolution came out of a brainstorming that we did. We have a steering committee for, this Black Women Wellness Project. And we tossed around different names, and when we came to Wellness Revolution, we said, this is it. This is where we're gonna go. I saw a quote that also kind of inspired our thinking, and I'll read it. Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. And that is an act of political warfare. And that's a quote from Audre Lorde.
Oh, we're going to have to put that up later. We're going to have to put that. That was powerful. That was powerful. Thank you, Angie. Keep going. I'm just stunned by that quote. This is why I tell people, get your paper and pen out. You never know when it's going to drop.
Yeah. So basically, everything coming together, the year that we've been through, what we need, we do need that support. I experience it even in the workplace. There is a wellness revolution going on in the workplace as well.
Totally. Yeah.
I was somewhat surprised, but given the context, maybe it's not surprising. There's been such a huge focus on mental health and on just us caring for each other, and this is the time that we're in. This is one of the things that COVID has brought out, that we do need to look after each other, keep ourselves safe so that we can keep others safe. And we needed to bring this wellness revolution into the community as well. It is time.
I just really love that. And Loris, can you tell us a little more about the event that is coming up, that is going to be happening soon? And I think it's starting on March 20th.
So when we looked at this, we realized that we couldn't just do it in one, because there was so many things coming out of the survey. So we had to break it down. So we were looking at it in three stages. The first session is starting on March the 20th, and then we have another one starting on April the 24th, and then the third one will be on May the 29th. The first one, he talks about nurture, cultivate, grow your mental and emotional wellness. And we take a look at the question, how can we nurture our mental and emotional wellness given life's challenges and the challenges and disruption brought on by COVID? Coping with the disruption, coping with the uncertainty, dealing with the change and challenges brought on by the restrictions. A lot of us are now social distancing, isolated. It's a full year now that we've been in this. For the folks who are living by themselves, it's challenging. So we need to come up with some strategies. How do we help a lot of us, and
Yeah.
most of us, as we are now into a year of it, and probably going into another year. So some of the
Yeah.
conversation we see, some of the strategies that we can give, and a lot of people are just still as busy, still as as even with COVID. A lot are on Zoom, but are we just busy? But we also need to stop and take care of ourselves. So that's the first topic. Then we looked at the second one, which is going to be in April, nurture our physical well-being. I chuckle at that, and it talked about maintaining, how can we nurture our physical well-being, again, under the same conditions, maintaining physical wellness, physical fitness, nutrition, and the mind-body connections, and some activities that support physical wellness. And I spoke with a friend today who called me to say, could I do something for her? And again, it's probably going to be a panel discussion. And I chuckled because she said to me, my hair is a mess, I'm 10 pounds heavier, and all that. She said, I can't appear anywhere. And I laughed. Actually, just chuckled, And I said, spring is coming, we can get out to go for a while. So those are some of the challenges that we're dealing with. But how can we still maintain that in light of what's going on? So that's the second of the three series. And then we get into the third one, which is nurturing financial and family wellness.
Okay.
We look at the families. We look at the families that are raising children, the school-age children. We look at what's going on in the school. We look at 1 minute they're in, 1 minute they're out. We look at how they're learning online or not learning online. I have a 7-year-old grandson. My son sent me a picture of him sitting by the computer, and it was like he said, just look at this, Mom, and I know there's absolutely no learning taking place. His stance was like, interesting. And parents are challenged, so we have to look at how can we support some of them. Then you look at some of the financial challenges. A lot of people have lost their jobs.
Yes.
A lot of Black women are entrepreneurs, small business owners. They are impacted by COVID.
Yes.
How are they coping? How is it affecting their mental health? So there's so much there that we actually need to look at. Coping with the stress. They talk about, so we look at the situation where you are 24/7 with your husband and your 3 kids. You love them to death, but that's not necessarily how life was meant to be. Life was meant to interact with the outside. Life was meant to interact with other family members. Yes. Life was meant to interact with friends, 1 year into it, how are people coping?
Yep. We weren't really trained, when you raise such a good point in this thing with families, because everybody normally has their own life, and the friends and families that I have, you're going off to work, you have your space, you're interacting with your own friends, the kids are interacting with their own friends, and so no matter how you twist it or turn it, you have to be really solidly grounded in being together for a long period of time, which most families aren't, to really thrive in this environment. So this is really good that you guys are doing this. And I love the fact that you didn't just think of your mental health and your physical health. The financial piece is so important. And if anybody can jump in here and speak to why should women really attend this? Because, life is getting busy, and this beautiful excuse that everybody has, I'm zoomed out. And how, why should they really, what is going to be the uniqueness of this that is going to set it apart from any other talk?
Oh, we're excited about it. I'm going to let Angie jump in. We're absolutely excited about it. And Nicole, we are excited that you're going to be our host.
Yes, I get to be one of your hosts on March 20th. I'm excited about it. I mean, I was just like, wellness, you got me. Mental health, you got me. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. Yes.
We are absolutely excited. So let Angie, because Angela and I have been collaborating on this. We're the 2 co-leads on the project, and then we pulled in 4 other people to form the steering committee. But we kind of started and we've run away with it. And Angie and I bounced off each other. We have meetings at 8 o'clock in the mornings, and at 8 o'clock at night, at 12:30 on her lunchtime. in our lunchtime. So it's been amazing, but we're enjoying it. So I'll let Angie fill you in. I can tell you we are very excited.
And listen, you already have people saying, and the beautiful thing about this, before I let you jump in, Angie, is people can join in from any part of the world. And I know you'll tell people how they can attend it. But I look at Serena, and Serena is based in the U.S. She's an amazing, and I know she's going to love this, the Wellness Revolution. I love the name, the Wellness Revolution. And it's free. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead, Angie.
Yes, and just to mention, how can you take part? You register on Eventbrite. So you just find us, Wellness Revolution. We're on Eventbrite, and sign up. So in this first session that's coming up on Saturday, we have 3 speakers, 3 amazing women who are going to bring their knowledge, they're going to share their expertise, and they're going to inspire us, and they're going to share strategies. We have Dr. Natasha Williams. She's going to be talking about coping with anxiety and on uncertainty during COVID. As we're all doing, this is probably the most challenging part of this COVID is just the uncertainty. How long will it last? Are we going to be working from home? Are we going to go back to the office? Are we going to go back to school? The uncertainty this is unprecedented, really. We have Hayes Shepmeyer. She's an author. She just had her book launch. Her book is Know, Grow, and Show Your Grit. So she'll be one of the presenters, and the format we're using, it's not going to be a panel discussion. What it will be is we're going to have 3 mini workshops. Mm-hmm. So this will give each of our speakers, a little time to get into the material. And our third speaker, Uchechi Izurki Bosse. She's a strategist, international speaker. She's also an author. She has the book From Aspiration to Fulfillment. She will be talking on the topic Surviving to Thriving. Move beyond fear and struggle and transform your life.
I love that. I love that because that speaks of growth. And it's so funny. You see, it comes back to the synergy of mindsets, and you have the people with the right mindsets to be involved. And so it's going to be free.
Yes.
And so I'm going to encourage anybody who's on here, tell your friends, tell your family. This is a wellness revolution, especially geared for Black women. And I know the secret is now, people, this is not going to be streamed on Facebook. It's not going to be streamed on YouTube. If you snooze, you lose. This is not going to be something that you sign up for and then you're going to get the stream tomorrow. It's not happening. If you don't attend, you really lose out. Is there anything else you want to say about the wellness revolution, Angela, Nikisha, that is happening? Why is this exciting for you guys?
I know for us down here in London, we've been sharing it, and my correspondent secretary, who's down here, the chair, Maya Mark, she's super excited about the fact that this program is just for us, right? Yes, yes. And so you ask the question, why should somebody log on? Why should a Black woman log on? You should log on because it's time that you have for you to regroup, to regenerate, to renew yourself, right? And so you get to be selfish for a few hours for yourself. And the end result is that you will be a better person and your family will love you better, right? So because I'm telling you, COVID is something else when like Ms. Laura said, you love the people in the house, but I'm telling you, you need a little break from them at times. So it's a good opportunity to just to check on yourself, to become in an environment with experts who are going to help you through this process or what you've been feeling. And so we look forward from the London chapter to participating in this. And it's right on. We're even adding on to this because after the wellness, we are starting a free exercise program so that members can log in on a date and the whole house can exercise. So that the spin-off from the Wellness Revolution for the London chapter, which is the birth, which came out of our project committee chaired by Nicole and Maya Marks, we are going to start our exercising. We're going to keep it moving.
Virtual, Nikisha, is it going to be virtual?
It's going to be virtual. Yes, and it's free. It's free, and it's going to be virtual. So that's our spin-off from the Wellness Revolution to keep it going. So we look forward to it.
This is why it's a revolution. I'm getting excited about it. I kind of hear when I love your Bahamian accent, by the way. I just so love it. I feel like I'm in the Bahamas listening to you. And I feel like, we need to go and sit down and have some, good food. And I think of John Canoe and things. So I'm starting to hear the music in my head, and we're exercising. We're exercising. So Angela, what is exciting for you about this wellness revolution?
Well, I am so looking forward to this. I've been like sending it out, sharing it with my friends on Instagram. And the first thing that, that pops in my mind, this is going to be something for us Black women.
Wow.
And so I think it's just opening up that area where everyone will see that they're not the only one that's going through something right now. There are other women, and so they're going to be amongst like-minded people that's going through the same things. They're not alone. So I think I love the togetherness that this is going to bring, and the solutions that's coming from it. And I do think a lot of things will be coming out of this wellness, because this is the first that's been launching, and it's designed specifically with the Black woman in mind. What we go through, our thoughts, all that. So everyone is excited just even to see what it's about. And I know after that, as well, Nikisha have already started, but I know after that we will continue to have a continuation going on. So women will have somewhere to turn to. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Very excited.
Madge is saying that, thank you, ladies. This is so timely. I'm presently taking care of a family member with COVID and trying to keep myself safe. Oh. Madge, we're sending lots of love to you, and we're praying for the wellness of your loved one. And, Madge is one of these women that continues to give back to everyone. So we're gonna be speaking the wellness revolution, that you're gonna have a wellness revolution happening in your life and in your family's life. And wait a second, I heard there were going to be prizes. And so this is going to be a fun event. It's not just, as you have the talk, you want people engaged. Because I was looking on Instagram today and I saw there was a giveaway and stuff like that. What kind of things can people can you share a little bit, one of the prizes that we might be able to win? I know I can't win it, but I feel like I should still be in the draw, but that's the Trini in me.
I know that in the Instagram, we invite everyone actually to check out our Instagram account. Our social media coordinator, Lishay, she's amazing. She's been, managing the Instagram, and we've had some sponsors that she's gotten amazing prizes for. I think gift cards are among the prizes.
Ooh. And you know what? Right now, everybody can use a gift card. I just got a gift card. Somebody just sent me a gift card from where was it? Oh, it was for something to eat. And I was like, yes. Because some of these days you don't want to cook. And Mondays for me is a day that there's no cooking happening in this house. It's cereal or whatever, because you're just going, you're really just going. And so when I think about this and I think about COVID and just looking at what Madge just said, it's one of the beautiful opportunities in this crisis is that if we were to have this conference actually live, and it's the sad thing is I'm an event planner, so I'm losing business. However, the beauty of it is London, people in Ottawa, people in the Bahamas, no matter where you are in the world, this is the beauty of this. Every Black woman in the world and their friends and their allies can still come in, because every woman can glean from this and be a part of this wellness revolution starting on Saturday. And it's for free, and you're getting information to take care of your mental health and wellness, to take care of, your physical health, and then to take care of your finances. The opportunities for this are endless. So I am really excited about that. What are the lessons you have found that you have learned from COVID? In this COVID experience, I know it's been hard on many. What are the lessons that you've learned from COVID? Anybody can jump in.
For me.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Angela.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I was just going to say, one of the major things that I took away from it is not to take life for granted. Things just change by the minute. 1 minute you're okay, and in the twinkling, it's saying, my grandma would say, in the twinkling of an eye, something has changed. And for those people who have had, not that they've experienced COVID on themselves, but I've had a cousin that passed away from COVID, and it just happened in an instant. Didn't even know he had it. Went to the hospital, and then he's gone. So it's just those times you want to appreciate everyone. You want to love on everyone, and it just shows me that just to live and forgive people, not to hold up anyone in your heart, because you just never know what the next moment is going to bring. So for me, it brought forth appreciation and just enjoying every moment that you're given.
I love this, Nikisha.
This, I had here in my notes, cherish your loved ones. That's what I got out of COVID, because like Angela said, you could talk to them today and then they're calling and telling you their past. I'm like, but I just had this conversation last night or the other day. And so it's just cherishing. COVID has taught me to value time. And like Angela said, let bygones speak bygones. You're talking about a wellness revolution. That's a part of wellness. Letting that stuff out of your system and just focus and living in the moment, because that's basically almost the thing that you're sure is the moment. And you living in the moment allows your mind to be free. Yes. And if your mind is free, you can think and you can be creative. So COVID has taught me to just cherish the loved ones that I have.
I love it. And Loris, what did you learn from COVID?
You know what, as this unfolded, I mean, in the first 3 months, we did different things, but I said out loud a couple of times, there are lessons to be learned here, and I hope we're all learning that. For me, the importance of relationships, the importance of your family and friends, and I think to Angela's point, take nothing for granted, because things change on a dime. Who would have thought that a year into it, and we're still into this. So learning, really learning how valuable people are in your lives, and the people who are there for you, and the people who will reach out to you. I've had I live alone. I mean, my 2 boys one is in Toronto and the other one is in Oshawa, actually, rather Whitby. But I have friends in the community who will reach out to me, who will call. I had a friend who was in line. We had a rib fest in Mississauga back, I think, late summer. And she called, she said, "Did you get your ribs yet?" I said, "No, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking of going out." And I live about 5 minutes from there in Millstown Center. And she said, "Don't worry, I'm in line. I'll get it for you." And the next thing I know, she was dropping ribs at my door and just walk away, on me. I've had friends who drop me dinner, some evenings. So just the people are amazing, and just realize how valuable relationships are. So, and there's probably more lessons to be learned, but I just say I hope everyone will take the time to just understand that we are in this situation. What's important, do not take anything for granted. Cherish those amazing relationships, and while you take care of yourself.
I totally am in agreement, and I know Serena's in agreement. Take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
Take nothing for granted. And Jean, your lesson from COVID?
I've had a couple of lessons. Like pretty early on, I got reminded just about how interconnected we all are. So my mom turned 80 last March, and to celebrate her 80th birthday, we planned a cruise. And this was, yes, actually, we were on a cruise celebrating our 80th birthday when the COVID pandemic was declared.
Wow.
Yes. It was quite a memorable last birthday for her, experience for all of us. Fortunately, we were blessed, everyone was well, we came back safe and all of that. But of course, we came back when they just started quarantining people who had traveled. And we got so much support from friends, so many people who knew that we were traveling and we had gone on a cruise reached out, people who I hadn't heard from a long time, "Are you okay?" Just the amount of care and, support. It just reminded me that even if you haven't spoken to someone in a year or even longer, that connection is still there. We're also interconnected,
Yes, yeah.
And the next thing was just the importance of family. I actually relocated back, to Scarborough, which I haven't lived in for a long time, to social distance with family, because it just made so much more sense. Where, years before I was probably taking it for granted, that we're so busy, living our lives and doing the things that we do. But this really forced myself to slow down and really look at what's important. And of course, being with family, being able to support family and getting that mutual support was for me, one of the most important things. So it's actually really affected and changed my whole living situation for the last year.
I really love that, and reevaluating what is important, and as we look at that, and I'm listening to all of you. What would you say to yourself 5 years ago? That younger self of 5 years ago. And if you want to go back as 10, now you could say it to the younger one, but I'll make it easy. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what would you have said to that younger Angine?
Take it easy. Take more time to sort of relax and smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
Spend more time with family.
Mm-hmm.
I think, somehow we get caught up, being too busy to connect, make more time for family and friends, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going through a time where we've been really restricted, right? We can't get together with our friends, only our immediate family. And even then, so there's such a contrast, right? Now we have sort of lost that freedom to sort of connect, to go here and there, to travel, all of those things, right?
Value your freedom. Oh my God. Value that freedom. Oh yeah. I love it. I love it. Nikisha, what would you say to your younger self?
So I went to the younger self.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, take the risk.
Ooh,
take the risk.
Take the risk.
Yes.
Okay.
For what I know now, if I could go back in my younger self, take the risk.
I love that. Take the risk. You know what? I would actually say that to my younger self as well. Because I realized where I didn't take the risk and where I kind of held back my dreams because I was afraid. That fear piece came in. Loris, what would you say to your younger self?
And like Nikisha, I went way back to my younger self. I would, and probably similar, take the risk, lighten up on yourself a little bit. I would tell myself to relax a bit. Don't stress too much. Don't second guess yourself so much. Don't I know one of my don't be so rigid. So lighten up a little bit. At the same time too, I also hold the principle that whatever happens, position us to be the people we are right now. So I also look back at my younger self, and I also look at my older self as I am now, and I'm kind of okay with my older self. And then I said, well, if you weren't like that at your younger self, you probably wouldn't be who you are at your older self. But and I also, over the years, I think 10 years ago, I probably made this decision: don't have no regrets.
I love it.
Have absolutely no regrets. And I made that conscious choice. Whatever I do, I'll have no regrets. I handle them, recognize that there are things that happens and they just should happen. Yeah. But yeah, if I went back, I mean, I'm going way back, I would say, be a little bit more relaxed. Don't be so rigid. Don't be so hard on yourself. And you talk about not taking the opportunities, second guessing yourself too much to the point where you don't take the action. Yeah. So those
it's that self-compassion. We have to have that self-compassion because we're so busy wanting to be this and wanting to be that. Yeah. We don't show ourselves the self-compassion. And for those of you who are listening online, I want to know what you would say to your younger self. Angela, what would you say to your younger self, girl?
Well, I'm going to go back like about 10 years. I'll go back about 10 years.
Okay.
And so one of the things that I would like, I was like Loris, I'm very rigid and set in my ways. And I think I would just say to my younger self, not to be so rigid, not to be so fixated on things. And if something gets out of line, you get all wound up, because just being in COVID had shown me that that really does not matter. So that is something that I would really, 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 really tell my younger self. And fear that, like, if someone had told me, just step out of yourself, you don't have to be so fearful. So that's something I would keep feeding to myself, because then I think I would be in a more positive light. I mean, during COVID, I definitely, I decided that I'm going to write a book, and it says, I found my voice in 2020. And that's something that spoke out to me, because before you hold back yourself. So those are the things that I would. And so what I find I'm doing, I'm kind of encouraging. I have a 20-year-old, and I'm trying to get her, and she's also very fearful. So I'm trying to get her out of that. So I'm pretending that, this is me when like her, what, 20. So I'm helping her to get out of that fearful stage and just to step out of her box.
And that is so powerful because when we talk about mental health and wellness, fear is the biggest factor.
Yeah.
And it's what leads us to depression and anxiety. And as we talk about mental, brain awareness week, fear actually has an effect on the brain. So it's to really figure out the fear, the false evidence that is appearing real.
Right.
Like what, and that is, sometimes we say that acronym, false evidence appearing real, and we walk away with it. But what is the false evidence that's appearing real to you? That's how you kind of can help you identify that fear. And then really what's really the worst thing that could happen? Address it and then move forward. I'm just loving the conversation. Vivian Young says, the women are amazing. I'm looking forward to the wellness revolution. Serena says, what I would say to my younger self, it's really okay to say no sometimes. Some people take advantage when you're always on the go, the go-to person for certain things. And one of the things I learned, no is a complete sentence. It requires no explanation. And so that's one of those key things. And you guys probably said half the things I would say to my younger self. And Maureen said to my younger self, learn to love yourself. Reach out to mothers. Do not make choices you will regret. Now, I love this reach out to mothers piece because especially as women, we're trying to do it ourselves. And Black women, we have this pride thing that I think is part of that whole strong woman thing that we were talking about earlier. If we could step out of that and know it's okay to ask for advice, it's okay to say we need help. And I'm guilty, and there's shame in the game, and there's embarrassment with the game, because sometimes when we look at the older generation and they did it so well, and we look at the Cicely Tysons of the world and look how they did it, the Rosa Parks, the Viola Desmonds, the Jean Augustines, they were just rocking it, and we need to not complain. But sometimes, we have to recognize we live in a different age with different challenges and problems. And so I'm so glad you guys came onto the show tonight. And I'm going to ask you one last question. I'm going to be good. I could probably ask you 10 more, but I'm going to be good. What does victory look like to you? And Jean, go. It's like a pop quiz. Angie, go. What does victory look like to you?
So, victory looks like being able to roll with the punches. Life has its ups and downs. You can't always control what happens. Look, we couldn't control this COVID thing, and here we are, right? So what are we going to do about it? So it's really not what happens, it's how you deal with it. And it's oftentimes how you look at it. So victory is being able to be present to opportunities, to be able to look at, things in a way that you can still keep going, right? And to just roll with the punches.
I love that answer, to be able to roll with the punches and go. I love it. Miss Loris, what does victory look like to you?
Wow, there's so many ways I could answer that. And it is very, very simple. It's arriving at this stage of my life feeling happy and contented with a smile on my face.
Ooh, I love that.
It is, because we go through this strong Black woman period. We go through the challenges of raising our families. We've gone through a lot of things, and I look around at us, a lot of Black women, and to arrive at this point, and just say, you know what, I did the best that I could, and to Angie's point, rolling with the punches, and just just letting it happen, and having no regrets, absolutely having no regrets about the things that have gone on. Yeah. So at this point, I consider myself victorious.
Yes. And this is why you're here, because this is a show about walking in victory and living an inspired lifestyle of victory, no matter where you are. Yeah. And I love Joan Pierre just added to the conversation. She said, what I did at 50, I will do at 30 instead. Get rid of negative folks in my life. It's so much freedom. And she definitely lives by that. Yeah. When you're negative with Miss Joan Pierre, That's it. You're out. She's and Joan is rocking it at 70, 71. Joan 76. Oh my God, she's
Yeah.
rocking it. She's an event planner extraordinaire. She's my mentor. She's my bestie, and I
Excellent.
love her to pieces. And Maxine Bradshaw is saying she's all the way in the U.S. Victory looks like having the confidence in knowing whatever the circumstances, I win.
Yeah.
No matter what the circumstances, I win. Yes, Dr. Bradshaw. Joan Pierre is reminding me she is 76. Okay, girl, you were 76. Okay, Angela, what does victory look like to you, beloved?
Okay, just a couple. For me, victory at this point in my life is peace.
Mm.
Peace, just being at peace with myself. I found out that you cannot put a price on peace. And once you've found that, and so my other is just peace and being fearless. Just being on this podcast is like victorious for me. So just being at peace and being fearless, just stepping out there, that is victory for me.
I am so happy you did this tonight, and I'm so happy you said yes. And look at how much you added to the conversation. And if you were to look back on this and said, what was I really fearful about? That's the kind of question. Like, what was I really fearful about?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty in it. And if anybody takes a lesson away from that, I think you should just look at Angela and says, when I step out, great things happen. And I can't even tell if you were nervous or whatever. You're just slaying it, my sister. You're just slaying it. Nikisha, what does victory look like to you, my sister? My Bahamian sister. Yes!
Victory for me is first being my authentic self. I think sometimes we take a long time to get there. So for me, walking in my truth is victory. Secondly, walking in my God ordained purpose and helping others is victory to me. So that's when I know I triumph. I'm a conqueror, is in those areas.
I am so loving this conversation. And, I could talk to you ladies for hours. And this is what I mean by having inspired conversations. You just never know along the way who you will meet, why they're in your life, and what you're doing. I mean, I stepped out on this journey, and Angine reached out to me. So you never know who's listening to your conversation. You never know who's taking in your smile. You just never know. And we need to be present. Do you have any last words as we wind this down? And I love Serena says, yes, peace of mind goes a very long way. Don't let anyone steal your peace. And I'm learning that. I'm still on that journey, but I'm learning that. Any last words? Anything else you would want to say about anything? It could be about the Congress. It could be about the wellness revolution. Anything else we have missed out that you want to see to anyone listening here tonight? Loris, I'll give each of you. Nikisha, you took your microphone first, so go, Nikisha, go.
So I just want to say for those who might be in the London area, Sarnia, St. Thomas area, the Congress, we have a drive going on. We're looking to take into our membership 100 members. And so we have started that journey. So if you would like to be a member of the London chapter, by all means, you can either send an email to the regional, or you can send an email to us at cblondonchapter@gmail.com. We are looking for hands on deck because there's a great work to be done in the community. So I just wanted to put that in there for my chapter. It is an exciting chapter, a whole lot for you to do. And we do have our annual membership meeting on the 27th of this month at 2 p.m. And so we have an Instagram, and so you can look us up. So thank you for allowing me to put that plug in there for the London chapter.
Listen, I wish I knew you when I was going to conferences in London. Now I have to find another excuse to come to London, but I'm coming to London just to visit Nikisha. When this COVID is done, we're gonna sit down together. Definitely.
Most definitely.
Angine, anything else you want to throw in there, my friend? Okay, I think you're on mute. Hold on. Okay, there we are just
there we go. Yes. So thank you so much for having us on. I just want to put it out there, invite everyone to check out the Wellness Revolution. This is just the beginning. More to come.
Amen. Angela?
Thank you again for having us on. And I just want to let all who's watching or listening, we are out here in the East, the Oshawa Whitby chapter. And right now we're working on our Mother's Day event, which is May 8th. It's going to be our annual tea party. This is a virtual annual tea party.
Okay.
So we're very excited. We're planning it right now, but you can check out our website and see information as it comes up, or you can email cbwoshawawhitby@gmail.com. And I just wanted to add one more thing on my journey here. I just wanted to leave this one quote from Merritt, because I've been soul searching during this whole COVID. And so, because you all know my biggest thing is fear, I wanted to leave this quote.
Was fair. Right. Okay.
So I found this in the Marianne Williamson poem, and it says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." And that's the verse not verse. Here I'm speaking like I'm in church. That's
okay. We're in service right now.
That's the paragraph that I take away, and I just run with that. So I just wanted to leave that out there with someone.
Listen, you can drop that in the private chat right now. You can drop that in the chat. You can put it in there so people can have that quote. You're gonna have to send me that quote so I can put it in the comments. But I love that one. Listen, Joan Pierre says she's taking me to London to meet with Nikisha. Angela, she's joining us. She's joining you for tea. So we're gonna come into the virtual tea party.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
I know you had given a quote before, but I just thought about, did you want to give another quote, or you were quoted out? And then I'm going to go to Loris.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, no, that was great. I'll leave you with that quote.
A quote, okay.
From Audre Lorde.
Okay, so Loris, I'm going to leave that last word to you. Anything else you would like to put in here tonight?
Yes, I would. And thank you. It's been fabulous spending this time with you and my three colleagues here. And when you invited us and I reached out to, and I said, okay, who will be on here with us? I'm really excited how this has turned out. And recognize, ladies, recognize how important it is as a women's group, but as women right across the world, how important it is for us to support each other. We are so powerful, the woman power, when we celebrate each other, when we uplift each other, when we reach out and help each other. And it was Kay Livingston's vision to unite Black women across Canada, to come together, to be that force, to manage our challenges, to share our inspiration, and to celebrate our successes. And this is who we are, and I feel this tonight on this podcast, and it's something, as all the women listening, that we need to take away. It is, we need to be there for each other, to support each other, and to uplift each other. We are the core of the community. So yeah, if I can leave that with you, right across all the chapters in Ontario, that's our mission, to make sure we are there supporting each other, so we can go out into the community and support the rest of the women. I love the work we're doing right now. I love the project we're doing right now. And when we welcome you to our wellness revolution starting on March the 20th. And it's not going to be it's not going to be just this year. I think we have a commitment that this is an annual offering going forward. So yes, so we're looking forward to it. So thank you very much, Nicole.
The revolution has started, people. This is time to revolutionize your health and your wellness. If there's anything we're getting out of this, this COVID, this whatever this is, this pandemic, we are changing the narrative. We are changing it into a wellness. We are taking our power back. We are taking our wellness back. I am so appreciative of these four women, Loris, Angela, Angie, Nikisha. Thank you for joining me tonight on the Victory Speaks show. It has been an awesome pleasure. If you missed the show tonight, you can catch it on the replay at Victory Speaks on YouTube, or Victory Speaks 77 on Facebook live on the replay. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Victory Speaks 7. There's also the Victory Speaks podcast that I do. You can catch it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And this is where I speak to you about living a victorious lifestyle. Victory is not just about the win. And I love how these women just framed it tonight. And they really, solidified the concept and the belief that I have. It's about crossing the finish line, not just first, not even first, but as your best self. And whatever that looks like today, it is conquering the fear. It is moving past the fear. It is doing it afraid, even when you're afraid, and trusting the process. If you're on Clubhouse, follow me on Victory Speaks. And I'm going to leave you with this quote. Leaders operate through and with humility. Operate from a posture of humility in your thoughts and actions. Stand in the truth of who you are and be teachable. That's my quote. And in this week, where it's Brain Awareness Week, do something for your brain, mind your mind, think about your mindset, think about what you're thinking about, think about what you're watching, think about what you're eating with your ears, and you're speaking through your mouth. Speak life. Seek to have an inspired conversation. Someone you love. Speak to have an inspired conversation with someone you meet today or you've met along the way. Like we've had a conversation today. Our conversations can be inspired by your truth, by your love, by your story. Make sure they're meaningful. It can even just start with a smile. And may you see the victory moments in your week. I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Joan, Shelley tuned in, Maureen tuned in, everyone who tuned in from all over the world. We have people in the Bahamas tuning in the US tuning in, and I'm sure I'm not naming some countries that I don't even know about. This is Nicole Waldron, your voice of victory. Live a victorious lifestyle. And remember, you are the voice of victory. Speak your victory today. Thank you for tuning in and see you on Wednesday. Actually, Wednesday, I have a new show, 7 p.m., and I'm going to be bringing in a guest from Calgary, the Women's Circle in Calgary. So Kathy and I are going to have a great conversation. She has become a friend over the years, and I just love her dearly and what she's doing with the women in Calgary in her co-op housing. Where she lives, it's a development and it's houses, and she just brings all these women together. So the Women's Circle, they're coming to us and we're going to learn from them. And I will put the quotes on here so that you can see the quotes from our some of the quotes from our guests tonight. I so appreciate you all. Take the time, enjoy the week, and count all your victories. Be blessed.